How's it going, everyone? It's Kenneth here on a Sunday morning, and I'm not at the allotment just yet. I'm just busy waiting for Matt to arrive at my place, but I'm in my garden. And if any of you have watched some of my earlier videos from sort of the beginning of last year, you would have known that there used to be a polytunnel right over here. So it wasn't a very big one. It kind of went along there, about 6 foot in length, in width, and about 8 foot in length that way. Matt and I spent about an hour and a half, 2 hours yesterday, busy taking it out, digging up the foundations. So there's the hoops over there, and the doors are just sort of towards the front of the garden. So today we are, yeah, the hoops of this polytunnel can be taken apart. They kind of got self-tapping screws in them, so they're in sections of 1, 2, 4, in sections of 4, but that's just too much of a hassle to do, and it's just going to be time consuming. So we're going to, you know, they're relatively light, so we're just going to walk these down to the allotment. It's not very far from where I live, and we are going to get the frame in, and that's going to be it for today really. Just, you know, we want to get the polytunnel in as soon as possible, because as you know, we have ordered our seeds, and those have actually arrived now, and things like peppers, chilies, tomatoes, tomatillos, we can actually start planting those inside in little propagators. So not just yet, probably sort of towards the end of January, beginning of February, and at that point, once they start sprouting around about March, the peppers can actually go in the polytunnel, and that's where we'll be growing them. So we want to get the polytunnel up now. We've got really good weather today. It's a bit nippy, but it's nice and sunny, no wind, so hopefully we get that all done. Okay, so to get straight into it, basically, at this point we are busy marking off where the tubes are going to go into the ground. So I think I mentioned earlier, it's a 6 foot by 8 foot tunnel, so there'll be 6 poles going to the ground altogether, 3 on the left, 3 on the right, and they'll be 4 foot apart basically. And tip to use to make sure that it is square is just use Pythagoras. You know, I'm sure everyone did that in school. But, you know, we did a quick calculation, worked out that everything was equal, and we kind of proceeded just to make sure that everything was square. And once we had marked everything off, we basically took a good mallet and just whacked them into the ground. Now, obviously it's winter, the ground's really solid at the moment, so it was a bit of effort, but we kind of just took turns and just got them all in. The ground isn't 100% level here, it's kind of about level. So what we did was we just measured 4.5 inches from the ground to the top of the pole, and that's how deep they went in basically. Okay, so once we'd knocked everything in, we just did one last check to make everything was okay, and it's just basically a matter of taking the hoops, which are already assembled from the garden when they were installed there, and just slotting them in to the posts basically that are in the ground. Okay, so once the frame is up, we need to put a ridge pole going across the top of all the hoops. Obviously you can see we're putting on the underside. That's just because when you put the polythene sheeting on, you want it to be relatively sort of smooth on the top. What we did here was, you can see these little kind of bolt things I'm showing the camera now. That kind of fits on the top of each hoop, and the ridge pole slides in between, and we kind of evened it out, and we started securing it from the one end. So we secured that side really tight, and then what we did was go to the other end and then pull each side, each bottom and top hoop in to make sure that they were perpendicular to the ground. You don't want them sort of sagging in or out, so we wanted to try and make it as square as possible. That was pretty much it really, and while Matt was doing that, just tightening the rest of the bolts, I took these little clips over here that you can see I'm showing the camera, and started putting those around all of the hoops of the polytunnel. What those are fixings for bracing. Now, you want to always brace your polytunnel. It's really, really important to give it rigidity and strength. So in terms of fixing the bracing, I don't think it's massively important like sort of what pattern you do, but you basically want to start you want them to go diagonally from one hoop to the other. So whether you go top, bottom like we've done here, or bottom top, I don't think it really matters, but this is the way we've done it. So we basically put some bracing from the top of the end hoop down towards the center hoop, and then from the center hoop we did another piece of bracing from there up towards the end hoop to make sort of like a V shape, and we did that on both sides. And that's basically it really. So that's just the basic framework. The bracing's on, we got the ridge pole on, the hoops are up. The next step would basically be to secure the doors on either end, and once those are secure, we need to do a base rail, which is almost like a belt. That's how I kind of describe it. It's going along the bottom of the polytunnel all the way around, and then that's what we are going to use to secure the polythene sheeting on. We still need to get the polythene sheeting, and we also wanted to spend the rest of the day getting those last 2 raised beds sort of put together. We haven't quite finished them, but you know, we got most of them sort of we've got 2 more, sorry, put together and measured out. We just need to screw the ends of each bed onto the last 2 we put in. So that's it for today, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this episode and you find it useful. Whether you're building a polytunnel from scratch yourself, or you're going to a supplier to buy a kit. And hopefully once we do part 2 showing us putting the doors and the polythene sheeting and the base rail on, it'll all make sense, and then, you know, maybe you can build your own polytunnel from scratch, or at least if you've bought one online, you can kind of see how we've done it to make it a bit easier for yourselves. So I will see everyone next time. Please hit that like button and share this video with your friends and family, and if you want to carry on watching these videos, hit that subscribe button now. You know, there's going to be lots and lots of awesome video over the next year showing, you know, how the allotment develops. So if you're thinking about getting allotment, I hope to carry on creating these videos showing you how we've set everything up from the beginning. That's it for today. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you very much. Have a good week.